Hello, this is Sadaka. This is continuing my third eye series, brow chakra series, the different magical things that happen with it. This one is a light language activation and blessing from Mother Isis. Um, yeah, or Isis is what we used to call her. Wow, the world is funny. So I've been saying things like the third eye experience because it's more of an experience than a concept to me, and it's more of a concept and experience than it is a physical thing that happens, or it is a physical thing, or it's an energetic construct that happens in the physical body, which is just the same as physical anyway, but it's got a lot of gobbledygook around it, and yeah. So I'm saying experience. Now, this one, to me, is much more of the experience. This is a light language activation from what is generally considered to be a goddess energy, and her energy is much more in the yin vein, very much so, because the last two I did were from Metatron, and he sort of is the ultimate of the spark of yang, creative force, and the manifest world, and the things, the intricacies, the blueprints in between in order to create that world, and setting up the grids and things of creation, setting up grids of ascension and consciousness expansion and all of that kind of stuff. Very forward moving, very bright, very young. This is different. This is from Mother Isis. This is about taking that ball of energy that we just cultivated and started to churn in the upper dantian, in the, head region, and putting it around a protective white coating of yin energy that is going to allow it to gestate properly. That's what I'm feeling. So I'm just going to stop with that image because it's not like I actually think that that's what's occurring, but that is what is occurring in an alchemical sense. That's what happens. You work with one energy until it breaks into something new or transmutes into something, and then usually there's an after effect and energy that comes with it, or an energy that comes down to like balance it out in a certain way, and then it has to be inside that like womb protection, that cocoon energy, until it really, becomes the new thing and becomes a new type of medicine or becomes a new type of energy entirely. There's always reactions and there's always more layers. Okay, so this is going to be from Isis. Uh, Mother Isis, as my friend used to say. It was always so pretty. So I'm going to just go with that one because he speaks Spanish. Um, yeah. All right, so I explained it. I don't like those advertisements. I'm gonna do that one. So, light language activation. I like this concept. We're gestating the third eye. We've built all this energy. It's gonna. I don't know where I get this stuff from. I'm crazy. Don't listen to me. The other thing that I wanted to say before we get going on this one is that this experience of Isis energy directed towards the third eye area is more in that function of soothing the rest of the system and causing other things to have a reaction. The third eye space, the brow chakra space as well, but the rest of the body and all of this to have this like it's a purification essentially. So purifications often take place from the position of the third eye and sort of like spread down like a balm or a sap to the rest of the body and the rest of the systems, which is why it's used very frequently. So this is one of those essentially. And we might feel a lot of coolness.
Tukatsturumoshun Hiefasumhayamato Pipiara, Watua Wasapa Tunkaimachumotonimaga Skill to the Mafasi in Nigeria. Jujumana Puema Machan and a gunning than being a Sandon and Davasia. On the Ningoran, the Nana Kachon, and the Gadabasin, the Coson, the American Bangadio, Guarding the Machan. What's such a Katan Jansen, Samatam, the Tamangan, Shandavasa, Torabasa, Chini. Was the Ganania, Nanamas, on the younger, so you the marsh when one on the young bangas, you can be a Yambaya. What do you go in 1 month and then got on so much to Bush Crema, Facific or Toymas? Satorada Sarafasa Kanjana Serial Sparabolodan and Garbashkia, Chodabaskia, and Albasania. Mansandana Basan, Indian Varasana, Sayavasa, Fatan American Barashikati, the Soyo, Barashiki Barashida, Tarabatata in Garabarashon, Song, and some Dami or also the Yavasayama. Walk when my Otto Garvasia, Timnamarasana. Go non chimney Narumzangi Wazangi Neravazania Nalandi Yotsavazania Navazana Navazania Zumtangi Narazan Yangavons and the Ginjim the Ratsni Washam Kamazandaya once imagine Yin Narazan Yin Razan Yinajana Matsanaria Bachan Yin Ujim Jim Toravatsan Yen Naravatsan Yen Naravatsa Vasha Naraberegisi Vasan Yen 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 Shimgimaraza Denian Grama Chumarium Narabachana Yen Navarasa Desi Kalarungarasa Dibese Yadra. What's the Nagramargachakan in Narazum Kemyar Marachunda Yanaraza I say no Ravasa in the Vashwaya. What's on the Ravasi Saratsari Sarashira Naragasaratsari Beshwan Yeret. What's on the Namachan in the Rozama? That felt good. Just a quick reminder about all this stuff. When we're doing light language activations, you can sit here with your hand over your heart. You can stand with your hand over your heart. Left hand is usually receiving hand, but usually dominant hand is giving hand. So if you're left-handed and that's your giving hand, then put your right hand over your heart. If that feels like more receiving energy for you. It's just about that. Like it's more about your own polarity than anything. But try both. Just see what it feels like. Or if you're into Qigong, then you can do the left hand over right hand in front of the lower dantian and just allow yourself to absorb. Even if you're not a man, you can do left hand over right hand and just absorb. I mean, if you're not a woman, you can do left hand over right hand and just absorb, because it's a more receptive circuit, and it also releases more. When it's right hand over left, it's a more closed circuit, and it tends to nurture from within
it's more yang, so it sounds weird to say nurture from within, but it's a more internal circuit. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, interesting stuff. Okay. Um, you can also, yeah, make sure you drink water. A lot of times you'll go, oh, that was a nice activation, and walk away and get like lightheaded and like sort of feeling like dehydrated or something. So drink water. Um, if these activations really affect you strongly, don't do them more than maybe twice in a sitting, and then give yourself a day or two to adjust to them. I don't think, I mean, people probably still, I don't know. I don't talk to a lot of people who aren't familiar with my stuff now and like experience things from it. People reach out to me who want to work with it more, and so I don't know what initial reactions people are having these days. But people used to have really strong reactions to the light language stuff, and then some people would spend all day crying in bed, you know. And so you have to be careful. Sometimes it's your level of receptivity and sensitivity. If you're ready for this stuff, you're ready for this stuff, but that doesn't mean you have to do it all at once. It's best to take these things a little slower. It is. Okay, so nurturing the egg or whatever. Uh, good stuff.